been so much at Kevin's place. Thought maybe it'd be cool if he came home with me tonight. So let's go on in my place and see what it's like. Tadaima. All right, come on in. Let's go back to the back bedroom. We can talk a little back there.
Oh, what the? Kevin, how the hell did you get here?
Yo, Happy Hour Japan. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Kevin, and welcome to another episode.
So my parents are in town, my in-laws rather, and since they have our bedroom and they're in the living room now, we had to come back here and hang out in my son Kai's room. So we've got all sorts of fun toys with us today.
Hi, my name is Nami.
I'm Torao. I don't know what we're going to talk about yet. Kevin, you have any good ideas?
Well, I know in some of the comments that we had, some people wanted to know about my experiences on Jet. So maybe we can start with a little bit about that.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about that.
There's no way I can summarize Jet in just one Happy Hour Japan episode. So,
yeah, well, first of all, what is Jet? For those of our viewers that don't know what Jet is, what is Jet?
Well, Jet is the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program. I hope I got that right. And it's essentially where native English speakers get sent to Japan to teach English in Japanese elementary, middle, and high schools. It's a really great program that's sponsored by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan.
So it's sponsored by the government.
That's right. And it kind of goes through your local consulate or embassy. So if you're interested, I highly recommend the program. It happens every year. You can probably find information from the nearest Japanese consulate or embassy, so check it out.
Yep. So where did you go when you were on your Jet trip? Where did they send you? Was it like
in
the booties or something?
So here's one thing. Here's the caveat. You don't really get to choose where you go. So you get to have some of your top choices. Like I'd like to go to the city, or I like to go to the countryside. I'd like to be in Tokyo. Of course, if you put popular cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, you're probably not going to get them because everybody wants
to go there.
But I was kind of lucky. I kind of put down as my top choices of places to go as Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe, which is all in like the Kansai area of Japan. And I landed a place, I ended up in a place called Kawanishi in Hyogo Prefecture, which is kind of equidistant from Kobe, Nara, Osaka, and Kyoto, which was excellent.
That's cool. So when you were teaching, I mean, how many students did you have? What kind of school were you teaching, and what was that like?
So I was teaching at an academic high school, and it sounds weird to call it an academic high school versus any other high school. Like, what other kind of high school is there?
Exactly.
But they have kind of like technical high schools where, people aren't, what they mean by academic essentially is that the students plan to go to college, versus some of the technical high schools or the agricultural high schools, which are training their students to enter the workforce right after high school.
Interesting.
It was just all around good time, I think as long as you have an open mind, there's going to be things that kind of bother you or piss you off. There definitely were for me. A lot of surprising, culture-shocking moments, but all in all, if you have an open mind and you kind of go along with what everybody else does, it's a really eye-opening, great experience. So I recommend it to anyone who's interested in traveling to Japan.
Cool. I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about Jets when they're over there, doing other things besides teaching, like causing trouble and problems and mischief. Do you ever see any of that by chance?
Oh, yeah, there's tons of things, but I shouldn't say anything. I tried not to hang out with too many of the ALT Jet crowd as much as possible, because I wanted to kind of immerse myself in the culture. So I made a bunch of Japanese friends and hung out with them a lot. And here's something interesting. So my South African friend, she knew zero Japanese. Never been outside, or never been to Asia. She'd been outside of South Africa to other African countries, and she'd been to a French, not colony, but French territory right off the coast of South Africa there. But never really traveled too far outside of her part of the world.
Right.
Came to Japan. She, obviously she picked up some of the easy words like hi and ie, yes and no, and arigatou gozaimasu, and stuff like that. But she really, ohayo, konnichiwa, the really standard things.
Let me chime in here too and say that if you don't know those words that he was just talking about, we're putting out a free 5-part mini course, and it covers those words and more. Kind of a good foundation for Japanese. So look around on the site, you'll find it somewhere. But
Right.
yeah, okay. So she knew some basic words.
Yeah, but barely. It was kind of
Barely.
like, cramming right before she got here on the airplane type of deal.
Okay. Yeah.
So I taught her a few words in Japanese that just got her social life just made it
Going.
it got it going. But it really doesn't take much, because what happens is you learn a few words
Mhm.
and you get comfortable enough to use them. And one of the words I taught her was toriaizu.
Mhm.
And that's kind of like in the meantime, or
Right.
meanwhile. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So when you go to a bar and first thing you do, you grab a menu and you're looking around and someone's gonna come and blabber a bunch of things to you in Japanese and you're like, oh crap, what do I do? You can say toriaizu,
Yeah.
and then you order a drink like toriaizu nama biru, which is draft beer.
So while I decide, let me order a beer.
In the meantime, I know I'm gonna have a drink, so in the
Mhm.
meantime, let me have a drink. Just learning a couple of words that kind of get you on that road and get you on that path to feeling comfortable in a culture really just opens up your opportunities.
Cool. All right. Well, that's it for today's show. I think that covers Jet. If you want to know more, I mean, we'll definitely mention it in future episodes.
Yep. And if you have any particular questions, feel free to shoot them over to me. I'll definitely be happy to answer any questions you have.
Just write them in the comments, and more than likely you'll see a video about them. So.
校長先生どうぞ。
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 0!